Alright, so I figured I would do a story time video because I really can't do motovlogging since it's like 34 degrees here. It's also 5 in the morning right now, I think. Wait, 5 in the morning? Or. Yeah, it's something like that. It's pretty early. Um, I figured I'd do a story time video because A, yeah, I can't ride. My bike's upstairs in my apartment, and B, I don't have really much game footage recorded right now. And there, I do have it. Sorry. It's pretty. I went to. Okay, edit that out now. Damn it. Or not, I don't know. But the game footage I have now is pretty choppy, and the mic sounds like shit because I haven't got my new one yet. And it's just. I've been having problems with it even picking up audio on my side, and it's just fucking bullshit. But yeah, I figured I would share with you the story. I crashed my first motorcycle. And this is a pretty funny story. Well, at least to me, my friends, it is. I don't know if you'll find it funny, any of you. But here we go. So when I was fresh out of high school, I was going to college at Mitchell Tech, and I worked at a furniture store. I delivered furniture for a living. That was my spiel. And I had a buddy who I've known for quite a long time now. Actually, how I met the funny story. I went to the skate park. He asked for a cigarette. I gave him a cigarette. Became best friends. That's literally how it happened. I'm not even lying to you. And that was 4 years ago now, 5 years ago. So, yeah, you can make friends in any way. But that's beside the point. But so I was working with my buddy, and same friend, mind you. And so I'm working, putting the crap, I forgot what truck it was, but I think it's Ashley Furniture. They showed up and they loaded into our loading bay, and we had to load up or unload their big semi of furniture and put it there. Oh man, there I go yawning again. Jesus Christ. Put it in the back in the right bay and whatnot. So one day, I asked my boss, I'm like, hey, whose bike is outside? Because it's been sitting there for a while. I didn't even know why it was there or whose it was. He's like, oh, it's mine. I bought it and I don't really want it. So I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. So I bought it, paid a great price for it. Actually, never got the title switched over and stuff, so I ended up getting screwed with the deal in the end, but that's a different story. But, so, my buddy who owned a GS 500F Suzuki, it's a 500 with fairings. It's a kind of like, it's not like 250, but Suzuki's version, or kind of like a Buell Blast. Like, they say 500, but they're actually displacing just as much as a Kawasaki Ninja. So the bike we're talking about though was an '05 or '04 Kawasaki Ninja, and it was the one with the big ugly one-piece headlight and the dopey, Dumbo-eared looking mirrors and the ugly ones that no one wanted. And this one was pretty rough shape. Had been dropped before. It's missing a blinker on the one side, kind of cracked, and the rear fairings that go around the back of the seat were broken. And I was like, well, whatever. Screw it. I'll ride it. And this is the green one. It was the Kawasaki Green. I don't know why I love that bike. If I could, I'd buy another one. I have a weird, attraction to those 250s. That's why I bought the '09 because they're great gas mileage bikes and they're fun to swing around. Anyway, so I had experience on four wheelers and three wheelers growing up. Not so much enduro bikes, but not so much street bikes that have extra torque to them. And so we were riding, and granted, I know how to ride a bike. It's nothing new to me, but the weight, and speed, the way they handle is way different than a dirt bike. So I'm sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, after work, we should go for a ride." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, that sounds like a great idea." And we had always ridden together, all the time after this point because we both had bikes finally. Like, yeah, let's go ride all the time, blah 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 blah. So we were cruising after work, and it wasn't that late, but it was getting darker. And I had a buddy call me up, another buddy. He's like, yeah, yeah, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, we're gonna go ride. I was like, oh, cool. Well, never mind. I'm like, well, no, at the time, my buddy was dating this girl, and she was under 18, 'cause we were just 18, and I think she was 17. But in the law in my state is if you're under 18, you think you need a helmet. Over 18, you just have to have like some sort of eyeglass protection. Don't quote me on that, but that's what the cop said to us one night. That's another story I'll tell you. The day I got away with speeding like two times over, three times over. Anyway, um, so we're like, we'll take her with you in your car and just follow us around. Let's go cruise. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So we cruise down the highway and hook up to the lake. We go for a lakeside cruise, and the lake where I grew up after high school was very windy, and it was it's a fun road, but it's always dirt and gravel on the road and whatnot. So we were riding around, and I had basically given it full throttle at one point, and I was carving the curves pretty good, and I chucked down, and I came to a turn, and I don't know why, but I looked behind me to see where everyone's at, and Austin's come up out of nowhere, my buddy, and he sees me, and I'm like, okay, he sees me, he's hauling up here. I look forward, and I see a mailbox, maybe, you know, 10 yards ahead of me. Not, it was pretty close. I was like, oh, shit, what do I do? Now, I was still a new rider to street bikes, so I didn't know what I was supposed to do, but now I would know what to do, and any other person with common sense would know what to do. I did not. So this is a story about making fun of myself for being stupid. Um, so I look up, and I see a mailbox. I'm like, oh shit. And there's a deep, steep ditch right next to it, to my left. And I'm on the other side of the road already. Like, should have been in the right lane. I veered over somehow to the left lane. I was paying attention, and there's a mailbox right there. So I lean to the left, try to avoid it. There's a ditch there, and I basically said, "Fuck this, I'm bailing on the bike." So I kind of put one foot up, kicked off the seat, and slid pretty good. Um, didn't know what happened. My glasses kind of flew off. Wasn't wearing a helmet or any protective gear. I was squidding so hard. Now I don't do that. I never will again. But that was a learning experience for me. But I get up, and my shirt's torn. My collarbone's all fucking swollen, and everything's just. I was going heavy. I was going like 60 miles an hour too. I was going pretty quick. And looked for my glasses. All my glasses are all bent to shit. My shirt's all torn, full of grass and dirt, and I'm all cut up. And picked the bike up, and the exhaust had slid off somehow. It was still attached, but it wasn't like fully on there, so the bike wouldn't start for some weird reason. And I don't know why it wouldn't do that. Whenever I took the exhaust off, it wouldn't start. I couldn't run open, which is weird because my new bike has a Shorty GP custom made, and it runs just fine. So I don't understand. Probably because these 250s run on the back pressure. They need it. So that was weird. I don't know. And it wasn't tuned to know that. And I look at it, and handlebars are fine. The fairing up front's cracked. Nothing broke off. The mirror's kind of fucked. The other blinker is broken. And my brake lever is basically, if you imagine a brake lever bent straight down and then back up and around. I don't know how that happened, but that happened. And yeah, so we picked the bike up, shoved the exhaust back on, the best it'll go on, and I started it right up, and I rode it back. And as we're riding, we come to a stop, and my buddy was like, "Dude, that was funny as hell." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "All I saw was brake light, dust, dirt, no brake light." And I was scared shitless, and I could not stop laughing. And it was quite the experience for me. And I've owned bikes after that. I've owned an R6, Hayabusa, 250 I have now, which is my favorite bike. I've never not loved 250s. They're fun little things. What else? A few dirt bikes, quads, and whatnot. But this, I never wore helmets, none of that crap. I grew up on a farm for a while. My grandparents owned a farm, so I grew up on a farm. We'll see all summer, every summer, and went up there on vacations and holidays and whatnot, and always did this kind of shit. But from that day on, I put a helmet on and riding gear. But yeah, that's the story of how I crashed my first bike, and I will be sure to put a picture of the bike. It won't be the exact like the bike, but it'll be the same bike in the video, and I'll try to get. Yeah, I do have a picture of that. I do have a picture of that thing still. Actually, I will put up a picture of the real bike. Um, anyway, so fast forward for a while. I rode the bike for quite some time. Ended up selling it actually for a little more than what my boss wanted it for. So I actually made him money. And yeah, sold it to a pastor or a pastor of a church, which was pretty funny to me. But yeah, so that's my story of the time I crashed my first bike. Hope you enjoyed.